You're in the room, but you feel like you're watching from somewhere else. Like everyone else got a script, and you're just filling space. Not invisible exactly, just not the main character. And the strangest part? You can't figure out why. It shows up in quiet moments. A group photo gets taken, and you instinctively move to the edge. Someone asks for opinions in a meeting. Yours forms, fully formed, clear, confident. But by the time you consider saying it, someone else already has, and you nod along, like you were going to say that anyway. At parties, you become the great listener, the supportive friend, the one who asks all the questions, safe behind your curiosity, because curiosity doesn't expose you. But here's the thing, it's not shyness. Shy people want to be seen and fear it. You're not even sure you believe you should be seen. There's a difference. You don't feel like the main character of your life. You feel like atmosphere. Necessary, present, unremarkable. In clinical psychology, this maps closely to a pattern called self-concept clarity deficit. It's a condition where your internal sense of who you are is fuzzy, not absent, just undefined. Researcher Jennifer Campbell found that people with low self-concept clarity don't just feel confused about who they are, they actively avoid situations where they'd have to declare it. Because declaring who you are requires believing you're someone worth declaring. Before we go further, let me say something important. This isn't a personality flaw. It isn't modesty. It isn't you being humble or gracious. It's a deeply human response to something that happened. Developmental psychologist Dan McAdams spent decades studying what he called narrative identity. The idea is that your brain builds a story about who you are, a story with a protagonist, with agency, with direction, with meaning. But that story gets written in childhood. And if the environment told you, directly or indirectly, that your story wasn't important, if your emotions were dismissed, if your accomplishments were minimized, if the adults around you were too consumed by their own chaos to notice yours, your brain adjusted the narrative. It wrote you into the background. Not because you belong there, but because staying small kept things steady. You adapted. That's not weakness. That's intelligence, just outdated intelligence. Here's what's happening inside your brain. There's a network called the default mode network. Scientists used to think it was just background noise, the brain idling, but they were wrong. The default mode network is where your sense of self lives. It's active when you're daydreaming, when you're imagining your future, when you're thinking about who you are. And when this network is healthy and active, you have a stable sense of self. You know what you value, what you want, what you believe. But research suggests that people who grow up in unpredictable or emotionally invalidating environments develop a fragmented default mode network pattern. Think of it like a GPS with a corrupted map. You know you want to go somewhere, but every time you try to route yourself, the signal breaks up. You lose yourself mid-sentence, mid-decision, mid-life. And so, you do what feels safest. You follow someone else's route. You become the supportive passenger, the background character. But here's the part that matters. This network is neuroplastic. It can be remapped. New pathways can be built. Not overnight, but deliberately. So how do you start writing yourself back into your own story? Not dramatically, not all at once. Here are 4 principles rooted in real psychological science. 1. Locate yourself through specificity. Vague self-concepts create vague lives. Researcher Timothy Wilson developed a concept called psychological journaling, the act of translating felt experience into language. When you name something specifically, your brain can hold on to it. Not, I felt weird today, but I felt overlooked when my idea was passed over without acknowledgement. Start here. Every day, finish this sentence. Today, the thing that mattered most to me was, don't overthink it, just answer. Because your preferences, your irritations, your quiet joys, these are not noise, they're data about who you actually are. 2. Practice what psychologists call self-disclosure. Background characters don't share, they reflect, they deflect, they redirect conversations back to others. But research by Arthur Aaron shows that graduated self-disclosure, sharing slightly more of yourself over time, is one of the most reliable ways to build both intimacy and self-concept. Start with low stakes. State a preference out loud. I actually love that band. Honestly, I think the second option is better. That part always gets to me. These aren't grand declarations, they're small flags, planted in the ground. I was here. I thought this. I felt that. 3. Interrupt the supporting role pattern. Notice where you automatically shrink. You ask about other people's weekends before they can ask about yours. You minimize your achievements before someone else can. You say, just wanted to check in, instead of, I've been thinking about this a lot. These aren't accidents, they're habits. And habits live in the basal ganglia, a brain region that runs behavior on autopilot. In habit science, researcher Wendy Wood explains that habits change when we interrupt the cue, routine, reward loop. So find the cue. When does the shrinking happen? In groups? With authority figures? When you're proud of something? Notice it. Then choose one moment per week to stay in the spotlight instead of stepping out. Just one. Stay in the room. Let the attention land. Don't deflect. 4. Build a character document. This might sound simple, but it's grounded in narrative therapy. Therapists like Michael White used this idea for decades. When you author your story, you reclaim the protagonist role. Sit down and write 3 things. 1 belief you actually hold about the world. 1 thing you genuinely value, even if no one else around you does. 1 moment where you felt most like yourself. Not who you're supposed to be, not who people need you to be. Who you are when no one's watching. Read it back. That's your character. That's who was there the whole time. Here's the mental model I want to leave you with. Think of your life as a movie set. You've been trained to believe you're crew. Important, necessary, but off-screen. You make things run smoothly for everyone else. You hold the light for other people's close-ups. But here is what nobody told you. Every single person on that set was cast, including you. There is no movie without you in it. Not a supporting role you earned, but a lead you were always meant to play. The script was always yours. You just kept handing it to someone else. Pick it back up. You don't need to become louder. You don't need to change your personality. You just need to stop treating your own presence as a footnote. Your thoughts count. Your preferences matter. Your story isn't a side plot. It's the whole thing, and it's been waiting, patiently, quietly, for you to show up inside it. Not as atmosphere, not as background, as someone who was always worth watching. You just forgot to believe it. Start remembering.